Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day, students. So, hi, I am Miss Nasima. For today, Wednesday, 17th of March 2021, we will look at Unit 2, Fact or Fiction. Okay, our topic for today is what's your favorite book? Apakah buku kegemaran awak? So, take out your past 2 textbook and turn to page 20. Alright, I hope you are ready. Alright, so the objectives of this lesson are, okay, by the end of this lesson, pupils will be able to distinguish various literary genres. And number 2, talk about a book they enjoyed reading. Alright, so we will be looking at literary genres, genre sastra. Okay, we will go through them later. Alright, so what are we going to do today? Hari ni kita nak buat apa? So there are 2 skills that we will be focusing on for today. Okay, number 1 is listening skill and number 2 is speaking skill. So for listening skill, we will listen to various types of literary genres. Kita akan dengar banyak jenis genre sastra. And number 2, we will complete an exercise by listening to an audio. Kita akan lengkapkan satu exercise dengan mendengar satu audio. I'll play it for you later. Alright, for speaking skills, we need to make notes about our favorite book. Kita akan buat nota tentang buku kegemaran kita, and we will also create a video. Alright, so this is going to be fun. Okay, I promise you. So pay attention throughout my whole video. Okay, so that you know what we going to do for our task later. Okay. Alright. So when you read the word literature, what comes across your mind? Apa yang terlintas dekat kepala awak? So as for me, when I read the word literature, what comes across my mind are books, buku, and another thing is famous authors like J.K. Rowling. Okay, this woman right here is J.K. Rowling. She writes Harry Potter. She is very famous. Okay, so literature ni dalam bahasa Melayunya sastra. Okay, so bila kita sebut sastra, kita tahulah ada berkaitan dengan buku, naskah, dan ada juga berkaitan dengan penulis. Sebab setiap buku ada penulisnya, betul tak? Okay, so I hope you have something in your mind right now when you read the word literature. Alright, moving on to the next slide. Okay, for your information, there are 2 types of literature. One is fiction and another one is non-fiction. So we will look at both of the types. Okay, we will look at the green column first, the fiction part. Okay, fiction actually refers to plot, settings, and characters created from the imagination. Okay, we read or watch this material for fun. Okay, fiction ni selalunya dia merujuk kepada jalan cerita, latar belakang ataupun karakter yang berasaskan imajinasi penulis tersebut. Okay, semuanya imajinasi, tak betul, tak wujud. Okay, imajinasi semata-mata. And kita selalunya akan baca dan tonton bahan-bahan fiction ni sebagai sumber hiburan kita for fun. Alright, so here are 2 examples of fiction literature or fiction materials. Okay, number 1, a book about a cat that talks. Kucing boleh bercakap. We know that it's impossible for a cat to talk. Betul tak? Kucing memang tak boleh bercakap, am I right? So this book is considered as a fiction literature. Okay, and number 2, a cartoon on TV. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you have watched cartoons on TV before. So we know that usually cartoons will show exaggerated scenes. Okay, scene yang melebih-lebih. Okay, exaggerated is melebih-lebih. So that's why a cartoon on TV is also a fiction. Alright, it is also considered as a fiction. Tak wujud, tak betul. Alright, so non-fiction. It refers to factual stories that are based on real people and true events. We read or watch this material for information. Okay, non-fiction pula ialah merujuk kepada fakta, cerita yang betul, cerita fakta yang berdasarkan daripada cerita orang sebenar, real people, and kejadian yang sebenar, true events. Okay, kejadian yang sebenar. Selanjutnya kita akan baca dan tonton bahan-bahan non-fiction ni untuk mendapatkan informasi, untuk mendapatkan pengetahuan. Alright, because they are real, we can trust them, we can trust the information. Alright, so here are two examples that it is provided here, two examples that are provided here. Number one, a book about animal life cycle. Okay, kitaran hidup binatang. So kitaran hidup binatang is a fact, am I right? So that's why it is considered as non-fiction, right? And a documentary on TV. So basically, a documentary are the things that we have attained from the past. Perkara-perkara yang kita dapat dari masa lampau, okay? Contohnya real footage, okay? Rakaman daripada zaman dahulu ke apa. Okay, we document it, we compile it to become a documentary. So maksudnya documentary ni benda yang fakta lah, benda yang pernah terjadi pada masa yang lepas. Okay, so that's why it is considered a non-fiction material. Alright, so I hope by now you can differentiate fiction material as well as non-fiction material. Okay, both of these are different. Okay, right after you know this, you can differentiate your material. Ini fiction ke non-fiction? Okay, I hope you can think of that right now. You can think of that after this. Okay, moving on to our next slide. Alright, literary genres. Okay, genre sastra. Okay, there are 13 altogether, 13 genres that we will look at today. So we will start with the first one, adventure story. So adventure story is a literary work in which action is the main element. Okay, aksi ialah unsur utama dalam adventure story. Okay, just like the example here, The Adventures of Sinbad the Sailor. Okay, inilah buku adventure lah, adventure story. Alright, moving on to the next one, autobiography, a story of a person's life written by that person. Okay, autobiography ni ialah cerita yang cerita mengenai seseorang yang ditulis oleh orang itu sendiri. Okay, seperti contoh, for example, here we have Gandhi and autobiography. Do you know Gandhi? Do you know who Gandhi is? Alright, so kalau tak tahu, you can Google who Gandhi is. Okay. Gandhi writes the content of this book himself. So that is why it is called an autobiography. Dia tulis buku ni sendiri. Alright, he writes about himself. Okay, moving on to the next one, biography. Okay, biography is almost similar to this one, autobiography, but it does have a difference. Okay, we will look at the difference. Okay, a story of a person's life written by another person. Okay, cerita yang ditulis oleh cerita tentang seseorang yang ditulis oleh orang yang lain. Okay, for example, here we have Albert Einstein, a biography of Albert Einstein. So this book is written by someone else. It is not written by Albert Einstein. Okay, kalau Albert Einstein tulis sendiri, dia akan jadi autobiography. Alright, so I hope you can differentiate these two, autobiography and biography. Satu ni dia tulis pasal diri dia sendiri, and another one is orang lain yang tulis pasal diri dia. Okay, moving on to the next one, comic novel. So I'm pretty sure you know this already. Comic, okay, it seeks to amuse the reader with exaggerated characters and funny events. Okay, tujuan komik ni diwujudkan adalah untuk inilah bahan hiburan kita. Okay, funny events. Kita akan jumpa funny events dalam tu, perkara-perkara yang kelakar, dan juga karakternya akan selalunya melebih-lebih. Alright, so here is an example of a comic. Okay, I'm pretty sure there are a lot more comic that you know. Okay, moving on to the next one, cookery book. Cookery book is buku masakan, a book that explains how to prepare dishes. Buku yang menceritakan macam mana nak menyediakan sesuatu makanan. Alright, so here is an example of a cookbook. Okay, we can refer to this book if you want to cook burger and so many things, so many other dishes. Alright, moving on to the next genre, detective novel. Alright, so detective novel is a novel focusing on the solving of a crime, often by a brilliant detective. Okay, detective novel ni ialah buku yang memfokuskan penyelesaian jenayah. Okay, selalunya dia akan dijalankan oleh seorang detektif yang sangat pandai, sangat cerdik. Okay, if you look at the example here, we have Sherlock Holmes. He is very brilliant in this book. So he is the detective, alright? So usually in this kind of book, there are elements of surprise, suspense, and mystery. Okay, ada unsur-unsur mengejutkan, unsur-unsur misteri, suspense semua tu. Okay, so moving on to the next one, fairy tale. Okay, I'm pretty sure you know this. We used to watch fairy tale movies when we were little, am I right? So, a children's story about magical and imaginary beings and lands. Okay. Fairy tale is cerita kanak-kanak tentang kuasa magic dan imajinasi. Okay. Um, apa nama, makhluk imajinasi, okay, dan juga tempat imajinasi. Okay, for example here, Sleeping Beauty. Okay, I know you have watched the movie before, but there is actually a book of it as well, Sleeping Beauty. Alright, so moving on to the next one, historical novel. So this one is sejarah lah, berkaitan dengan sejarah. Alright, historical novel is a genre, a literary genre in which the plot takes place in a setting located in the past. Okay, selalunya cerita-cerita daripada historical novel ni diambil daripada masa lampau. Okay, dia punya karakter dia semua daripada masa lampau. So we see an example here. We take a look at the example here. The historical novel in Europe, 1650 to 1950. Alright, so it was long time ago, am I right? So that is why this one is considered as a historical novel, novel sejarah. Okay. Moving on to the next one, poetry book. So poetry book is a collection of poems that work together or feel related in some way. So kat sini, poetry book is satu buku yang mengandungi koleksi-koleksi sajak yang berkaitan dengan satu sama lain. Okay, for example, one particular book only focuses on love or friendship. Okay, so the whole book will publish poems that have that are related to love or friendship. Okay, so semua poem kat dalam satu buku tu akan menceritakan benda yang sama. Okay, dan itulah kita panggil poetry book. Okay, so here is an example of a poetry book, the giant book of poetry. Like it contains a collection of poems. All right. So moving on to the next one, romantic novel. It is a genre that focuses on the romantic relationship among two people. Okay, genre ni memfokuskan percintaan, kisah percintaan antara dua orang. Okay. For example, here we have The Fault in Our Stars. Okay. Ada hero, ada heroine lah basically. Okay, so this is an example of a romantic novel. There are so many other examples, but here is an example that maybe you know, maybe you can relate to. All right. So, and moving on to the next one, science fiction novel. Science fiction novel is a genre that tells a story about life in the future or in other parts of the universe. Maksudnya genre yang science fiction novel ni genre yang menceritakan perkara yang masa hadapan, perkara yang tak jadi lagi sekarang dah jadi masa hadapan. So basically it is a bit more advanced lah. It is advanced. Alright, and it also tells about other parts of the universe. Alright, pelusuk-pelusuk lain dalam alam semesta yang kita tak nampak. Okay, so is it a fiction? Yes, it's a fiction, right? Perkara ni tak jadi pun, tak wujud pun. So it's a fiction, right? So here is some examples of science fiction novel. Okay, Star Wars. Star Wars lah. Star Wars is a science fiction novel. Alright. Moving on to the next one, thriller. Thriller is a genre that gives feelings of suspense, excitement, surprise, anticipation, and anxiety. Alright, thriller ni ialah genre yang bagi perasaan suspense, teruja dan terkejut. Okay, bila kita tengok cerita tu kita akan ada banyak perasaan. Okay, banyak perasaan yang gelisah macam tu. Okay, so this is an example of a thriller book, okay, by Stephen King. The title is The Outsider. Okay, so we can feel a lot of feelings. We will have a lot of feelings when we read this particular book. Okay, dia macam seram. Alright. Moving on to the last genre, which is travel guide. Travel guide is a book that provides information on a particular place. Okay, buku ni menceritakan tentang memberikan informasi mengenai satu-satu tempat. Okay, for example, here we have France Travel Guidebook. So in this book, it will mainly tell about France, Perancis. Kalau kita nak tahu apa-apa informasi mengenai Perancis, we can refer to this book. Okay, we can refer to this book if we want to know information about France. Alright. So I hope you are able to know all 13 literary genres by now. There are 13, I know a lot, but that's okay. It's something close to us, am I right? Kita memang selalu baca buku, kita memang selalu tengok movie, and we can relate to all of the genres. Alright. If there are any words that you do not understand the meaning, you can directly message me via Telegram. I will help you out. Okay, moving on to the next one. Alright, what I want you to do now is to check out your exercise book and look at exercise number 2, Pulse to Textbook, because we will be starting with our first activity, which focuses on listening skills. Okay, listening skills. So please take out your textbook, exercise book, yeah? Alright. Exercise 2. Complete the commands. Which 2 books are about real people? Listen and check. So, lengkapkan bahagian komen dan tengok 2 buku yang menceritakan mengenai orang yang betul wujud. Dengar dan semak. Okay, I want you to stay focused when I play the audio so that you know what to fill in the blanks, right? So there are 6 comment sections here, 6 comments from the readers. Okay. This week's bestsellers, what our readers think. So here are the coloured bubbles are the comments by the readers. Usually comments ni kita akan jumpa dekat dalam website kedai buku. Okay, website macam kedai buku apa yang kita tahu, Popular, MPH. Okay, selalunya akan adalah section macam ni, section for comment from readers. Okay, and the readers will usually provide their feedback, their review for a particular book. Okay, so we will take a look at all comments, and I want you to fill in the blanks. Alright, when you listen to the answer, you fill in the blank. Alright, copy the instruction first, and then you copy the whole thing. Alright, the colored bubbles only. The colored bubbles. The books you do not need to draw, or if you want to print it out, if you want to photostate, you can do it as well. That's fine. It depends on you. Okay, but tapi kalau nak melukis, tak payahlah lukis buku-buku ni. Ambil ni saja, bubbles tu saja. Right, so I'm going to play the audio now.
Unit 2. Vocabulary and Speaking. Literature. Exercise 2.
This week's bestsellers. What our readers think.
Life, Love and Texting. From the title, you'd think this was a romantic novel, but it's also a comic novel that really made me laugh. Vicky, 18.
My Side. I'm not a sports fan, but I really enjoyed this autobiography of David Beckham. I'm going to buy it for my dad now. Tom, 19.
Europe Essentials. This is a travel guide about some great places in Europe. There is information about lots of interesting things to see and do in Europe. Jess, 15.
Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This is an adventure story about a very clever boy called Percy. Someone stole something very important from the Greek god Zeus. It's very exciting. Children aged 10 to 12 will enjoy it. Kate, 11.
Steve Jobs, the man who thought different. This biography tells the amazing life story of Steve Jobs. For technology lovers. Maisie, 17.
The Adventures of Sean Ryanis and the Impossible Chase. I really like this science fiction novel about exciting adventures in space. Buy it. Brad, 16.
Okay, I hope you are able to fill in all the answers. So basically, if you notice, all the answers are the genres that we have gone through before, right, with me? So all the answers are the genres. You can refer to our previous section to look at how they are spelled. If you are not sure how they are spelled, alright. Kalau tak sure macam mana ejaan dia, you can refer to my previous section, previous penerangan tadi, my previous explanation. Okay, so I hope you are able to find all the answers. Right, so kalau tak dapat, you can repeat. Alright, you can repeat. Alright, moving on to our second skill, which is speaking skills. Okay, on the same page, look at exercise 5 and 6. But we will look at exercise 5 first. Alright, so exercise 5. Make notes about a book you enjoyed reading. Okay, there are 5 notes that you are going to fill in with your own details. Ada title, author, kind of book, age when you read it, why you liked it. Okay, tajuk buku tersebut apa, pengarang dia siapa, penulis dia, kind of book dia apa. Kind of book ni, you fill in your genre, the genre of the book. Okay, fairy tale ke, science fiction ke, adventure ke. Alright, so you fill in with the genre. So age when you read it, umur awak ketika awak baca buku tersebut, and why you liked it. Kenapa awak suka buku tersebut. Alright, so I am going to show you an example of my favorite book. Okay, the information on my favorite book. Alright. So the title of my favorite book, the book that I really enjoyed reading, is Animal Farm. Okay, the title is Animal Farm. The author is George Orwell. Okay, and the kind of book, it is a fiction book, and the genre is fairy tale. Right. So age when I read it, I was 20 when I read the book. Okay, why you liked it? Kenapa saya suka? It has successfully encouraged me to think out of the box. The language is also straightforward and very easy to understand. Okay, buku tersebut telah menggalakkan teacher untuk berfikir di luar kotak. Dan bahasa yang digunakan juga sangat mudah untuk difahami. Okay, so I hope you can feel the details with your own favorite book. Okay, this is mine. What about yours? Okay, just copy the instruction and then salin all the notes and fill them in with your favorite book, with the details of your favorite book. Alright, so here is the best part. Okay, task. You are going to create a video of you telling about a book that you enjoyed reading. Okay, you can use the notes from exercise 5 to help you. Okay, awak akan buat video menceritakan buku yang awak suka, buku yang awak gemari dan awak seronok baca. Okey, awak boleh guna nota-nota daripada exercise 5 untuk membantu awak dalam membuat video tersebut. Okey, nota tu yang this one lah, this one yang teacher has shown you just now. Alright, so you can use TikTok or Instagram, or you can just record the session. You can just record your video and just send it to me, okay? It depends. Kalau nak guna TikTok pun boleh, nak guna Instagram pun boleh, nak record macam biasa guna phone pun boleh. Alright, it depends on your creativity. You can be as creative as you want. Alright, but I want to listen to your voice, okay? I want to listen to your voice telling me the story, the book. Jangan tulis dengan caption lah, tak nak. Kalau boleh teacher nak dengar your voice, okay? You tell me about your favorite book yourself. Jangan tulis apa dekat the video. Okay, I will show you an example of me telling about my favorite book. Watch this video, right? And try to do it on your own.
Hello everyone, my name is Nasima. Today, I will tell you about a book that I really enjoyed reading. The title of the book is Animal Farm. The author of this book is George Orwell. Animal Farm is a fiction book. The genre of this book is fairy tale. I read this book when I was 20. I really like Animal Farm because I think that it is a good book. It has encouraged me to think out of the box, and it is also very easy to understand. That's all from me. Bye bye.
Alright, so did you enjoy the video? So that is my favorite book, a book that I really enjoyed reading. Now what about you? Okay, now you create your own video and tell me about a book that you really enjoyed reading. You can hold the book, or you can just show a picture of the book. Never mind, I don't mind, as long as you have one book that you can tell about. Alright? So now we are going to recap our lesson for today. Okay, our topic for today is what's your favorite book? Apakah buku kegemaran awak? So we learned about fiction and non-fiction, right? The green and red table yang kita tengok yang first tadi. Okay, awak dah boleh beza now which one is fiction and which one is non-fiction. And we have learned various types of literary genre. Kita dah belajar banyak jenis genre sastra. And we have also done our listening skills. Okay, we completed exercise 2 by listening to an audio of comment section. Okay, awak dah melengkapkan exercise 2 dengan mendengar audio yang teacher play tadi lah. Okay, berkenaan dengan komen daripada pembaca. Okay, and number 3, we have also done our speaking skills. And what we did was we prepare notes regarding a book that we enjoyed reading. Kita buat nota tentang buku yang kita gemari, buku yang kita seronok baca, and kita juga buat video, okay? Buat video mengenai buku yang kita enjoy baca tersebut. Alright? So do not worry, for the video I'll give you 1 week to get it done. So do not worry, do not rush, take your time. Try to find a book that you really enjoy reading, so that you feel happy when you tell me about the book. Alright, try to find one. Okay, so I think that is all from me. If you have any questions, you can ask me directly via Telegram. Okay, I will try to help you out as soon as possible. Okay, do not forget to do your tasks, do your exercises, and then do your tasks, do your video. Alright, and send them to me via Telegram. Right? I think that's all for me. Stay safe, be healthy at home, and take care. Bye bye.